I want to welcome you out to the training this afternoon on the Aldelo Express Hostess Reservation Tables Management Setup. This is one of the several different modules we have that will actually help pay for the system. This is what's known as a cost justifiable feature. And I'll get into how it's what it does for the restaurant and how it can actually help pay for the system. So first off, let's take a look at what the Aldelo Express system does. The Hostess Reservation Table Management Module is included at no extra charge with Aldelo Express. This is not the case for a lot of systems in the market. There are a lot of extra modules that are available with other systems that are also included with Aldelo Express. Whereas you pay for those with the competition, they're included with Aldelo Express. This is one of those areas. So a Hostess reservation module and then a separate table module are often charged for extra every month. With us, they're included. Reservations can be associated with the customer profile in the system, and the customer profile could be, then it will also track the purchases and the sales that customer has made. It gives a good history, purchase history. So there's a lot to the customer profile. Reservations can be looked up by customer name or phone number. Special occasions are noted in their files. Do they need a high chair? That's also something that's noted. And they can also have their favorite table be reserved by the system. So it is a very full-featured module. Under the table module, the table management module, it allows for display of the table status, whether it's open, available, seated, check printed, items ordered. Different statuses are shown by color on that table. We use graphical table icons, and I'll show you where you can upload images for each of the different types of tables, whether it's a bar stool, 2-top, 4-top, 6-top, banquet table. All of those different icons can be uploaded to the system. You can then drag and drop the layout so that you have the ability to customize it to make it look like the actual layout of the restaurant. They're not just in standard columns and rows. They're not just alphabetized. They are able to be moved, drag and drop wherever they actually are located in the restaurant. You do have multiple sections. You have the ability to have inside dining, patio dining, upstairs bar, downstairs bar, patio bar. All the different areas and sections within the operation are all able to be set up individually. And then you have custom routing by section. This is something we just recently added. It allows you, if you're on the patio, to then send the drink orders to the patio bar and not to the inside bar. So there's custom routing by section. The Aldelo Express has what we have are called hard and soft savings. The module that we're talking about is able to be called a soft savings because of the way you can use it. If you had an average ticket of $25 with a food cost of 40%, which is a little high. Now, so I'm using very conservative numbers. $25 average ticket's rather low, and food cost at 40% is a little high. So I'm using numbers that are very conservative to the restaurant owner. That gives you a profit per table of $15 per table, not of the restaurant per turn, but if you turn an extra table one more time per day, that is, get one more guest to sit at that table by using the advantages of the reservation and the wait system, and then the table management. If you can turn that table one more time, that equals out to be $450 in extra profit in a month. That's substantial, and that one feature alone can help pay for the system. So let's look at how to set this up. You're going to go to the back of house, You're going to go to the settings, store config, general config, then services tab, order type options, and then dine in. So we're going to go to the back office. Under settings, store config, general config, and then the services area, you want to make sure that under your order type options that dine in is turned on. That's the first step. Next thing, you're going to go to the settings area, order type config, and then go to the dine in tab and table service options. Order config, table service options. And what you do here are just a couple of things. Settled dine-in table needs forced clear. This means that you have a table that is dirty and you have a busboy that has to mark that table as clear, ready for the next guest to be seated. If you have that scenario where you have to have the table cleared before you can seat it again, then you would click yes. Then occupied table cannot create new order. That again, if you have a situation where that table is not tendered out, but yet you want to still seat somebody there, you would leave that as no. If you want to force that table to be tendered before you seat somebody else, you would then set that as yes. All right, next up. Seating or settings, hostess config, and then reservations and wait list can be turned on to yes. So go to hostess config and enable reservation feature. So you don't have to have reservations and wait list turned on. If you leave this to no, it's off. By hitting yes, then you have a lot of other options that pop up. Reservation requires customer association. I'm going to leave that as yes. That's the default. This allows you to then have the customer profile attached to the reservation. That's just a better way of tracking that customer. Restaurant reservations, advanced booking, minimum days. You can make it where they can't make a reservation same day, or you can say I need at least 3 days of reservation before you can make a reservation. And then the next one is what is the maximum number of days ahead of time that you will allow somebody to make a reservation. Both of those are left open here as by default. Expiring reservation grace minutes, I have it set it defaulted to 15. Then print options. Print a guest check ticket upon check-in. It defaults to yes. I'm going to set it to no. Print seating ticket upon seat assignment. I'm seeing more and more restaurants that are doing this that actually have a little printer that pops up a seating ticket that is then, I've seen them tape it to the table. When this is the way you want it, hit save. Then come back up to the wait list, and now we're going to turn the wait list on. Wait list requires customer association. I left it at no. Print guest check upon check-in or seating ticket upon seat assignment. You can do either one, yes or no. All right, now both hostess seating and reservations are now turned on. So now we're going up next is you're going to go to staff, employees, select the employee that you want to be a hostess, show extended settings, and then turn the hostess assignment on. So staff, employees, I'm going to select myself, come down to extended settings, and you need to turn on hostess to the yes. Then you also need to make sure that this is also checked yes, that they have access to the dine-in area. Then finally we get to where we're going to do the table layout. So we go settings, seatings. We're going to first add a new group and then add new tables. Settings, scroll down to seatings, and then you're going to add a group. You give that group a name. This is where seating group-based routing. This is where you can tell the system where to print the guest check and where to print remote orders. This allows you, if you were doing a patio, to then only send the patio drinks to the patio bar. That's how you would pull this down and then select where that was going. Now I have main dining. Let's go ahead and add a table. So the table name can be alphanumeric, number of guests, and a table picture. If you wish, you do not have to put a picture in. If you do, that just adds a little color to the little flair to it. So come in and pick, is that in this case, a square top. So I got 4 tables. Here we go, 100, 101, 103, 104. And that's all I've got to do now for the main dining. If I want to add another group, in this case I do, let's go ahead and enter in a patio area. And add a table there. Now, if you're wondering where I got these icons, it was really easy to find them on the internet. Just did a little search. I did a search for bar stools, and this is what I came up with. So you can do a little quick search and find these images. They're not hard to find. So now I've got a patio section and a main dining section. So you can now see where we have these set up. That's it for setting them up. And now let's go ahead and show you what they look like at the point of sale. All right, so now I've got the point of sale screen going. Let's go ahead and take a look at the system and how we've done it now. So let's go to the hostess area. And now I've got those 4 tables for the main dining, and then patio looks like that. And what you can do in the top right-hand corner is a little green question mark. You can drop that down and get some instructions. So 2-finger tap on open area to add a table. So you can add a table from the front of house to the table seating module. You also have the ability to tap on the existing table to edit it. to add additional seats, whatever. And then you hold the table and reposition when it wiggles. So let's take, and now I can move that wherever I need that to be. Same thing for these tables here. Let's go ahead and move this to that section. Wherever you think this needs to be is where you're going to move it to. Once you're there, release, you're ready to go. That's how you can then manipulate and change the table layout. You see now where we have the icons on them and we've moved them. Next thing up, let's go ahead and look at the different statuses down at the bottom. By the color, these will change automatically depending upon the stage of the sale. You also can see how many are seated, how many people are seated, paid, and waiting to pay. By gesturing, that is taking my finger and moving to right to left, I can then move over and change sections. By moving left to right, I can also then go into the reservations and the wait list area. What you're looking at now is I've got the reservations are here. This is in the reservations area. So let's add a new reservation. You can pick the date and time. It's 2:20. So let's make this a reservation just real quick for 2:30. I can select a table, but I like that particular table. Customer name. And then their phone number. It defaults to a party of 2, but I can change that. It also has 2 adults. I can make that 3 adults, 1 child. Do I need a high chair? Is there a special occasion? Any other special notes I want to have on there? Once I'm ready, I hit the done button, and now that reservation is in. The reason I did it for a short period of time is that I want you to see that you have the ability to check that person in. When they get to the restaurant and they have checked in with the hostess, you can then touch the check-in button, and then it will ask you, do you want to seat them now or do that later? Let's go ahead and seat now. And now that's all there is to seating that person. As you'll see, the seated is now green. It takes away the icon and lets you know that Jerry Wilson is at table 103, the party of 4, and they've been there for less than 1 minute. So now that's ready to go. The server will now be notified when they come back into the system that they have a table and it's ready to go. That's all there is to the reservations module. Very simple, easy to do. Now let's go back over and look at, by touching the word reservation, and I'll change that to wait list. You can then start adding people to the wait list. Two people, same type questions as you had before, and go ahead and put them on the wait list. So now that is started to create the absolute wait list. And now we have 2 people on the wait list. When you're ready to seat somebody, touch that person. Then on the bottom left is seat the party. Touch the table that you're going to seat them on. Now they are seated, ready to go. You'll notice that I have an in use here under this table that's already been set so that you can't duplicate. It's already in use. Ready to do the next person? And go ahead and seat the party. And there you go. Easy done. Nothing to it. Are there any questions?
For more information about Aldelo and our products, you can always call us at 800-801-6036 or email us at sales@aldelo.com. If you have a support question, email support@aldelo.com, or you can check us out at the family of websites that we have: adela.com, adelopay.com, and the Aldelo Express.